understand martial law and stuff. So where could I actually hit?
I'll give my number, I'll give you a copy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. Questa è
yung point ni Lav na he wants to make a film, he wants to tell his story. Or in my terms, he wants his sariling duende to tell his story. I identify very much with that because in this world where, and I could feel today with a lot of fielding of questions, it's always talking about the size of audience, which is related to marketing, and which to some filmmakers, yes, it's important to make enough money to buy your next stock. Well, at least in our days, 16 millimeter, you have to save a lot of money before you can shoot your next role. But maybe it's hard for many people to imagine that some filmmakers are happy to have completed their story. It's a bonus if you have bigger audiences. Extra na lang yon. And but then for the main industry, or for the main, or maybe even for large independents, that profit motive may be secretly still in there. So I think if you're listening to people, maybe Lav Diaz and also Kidlat Tahimik are extremes in this world of independence and extreme independence, no? I mean, if we're talking about time, waiting for time, I waited 30 years before we even got some feeling today that the independent cinema is now catching root, no? But for us, time is, yan lang, daloy lang yan. Nothing's gonna happen if you can't stop it. You can maximize it, as the MBAs will tell you. But for others, the time that it took you to make your film has given you a certain satisfaction. Granted to them. Now, of course, I would also disagree maybe if it says, well, pasensya, problema na niyo kung hindi makita yung film ko. I don't think he was saying that. No? I remember a little anecdote I'd like to share. Na, when I was first beginning to make my films, there's this filmmaker, Werner Herzog. He's a German filmmaker who at a certain time was one of the new German wave. And I had wanted to have a little time with him to react to a synopsis of the film that I was going to make for Film Nightmare. And I said, he was busy, he was about to make his next film, Strotzek. I said, I'm so busy, but if you want to have me for a ping pong of the ideas, come with me. I'm driving up to Frankfurt from Munich, and then that's when I can focus on your question. So he drove his Volkswagen Kombi. We drove 400 kilometers to Frankfurt. We went to a cinema. He had 38 people there, and he drove back. And I said, Werner, you drove 800 kilometers for 48 people. And he said, Kidlat, we must develop our audiences. That's it. If I can mimic his German accent. But anyway, I think the point is that as a whole, maybe we all have struggled together, the independents, to try to increase the audiences. And maybe some extremes where it requires a big leap of faith to sit for 10 hours, even if you don't regret it afterwards, might be just circumstantial to people like Lav. My films, they said, was inaccessible because I was always in Baguio and I didn't have any distribution company. People will find their own reasons why they say, ang hirap naman makita yung film mo. I think the determined will always get there. But in the end, between the individual, Lav Diaz saying, bahala ko ito, you have to struggle to ride with me on my surfboard, and the other independents who want to help develop the audiences, then maybe there's not a real conflict in this case. Sige lang, Lav. Kaya rin natin yan.